most young people, they would love to go there and remain there. You went and you came back.
A lot of people want to remain there. I think I had those thoughts a number of times as well, because it's always easy to think about what you've left back home, and you think, what am I going back to? Yeah. There was one day we went to Washington, D.C., and it was one of those big hotels, because the U.S. Department of State booked us some hotels, and the person who was cleaning my room was from Kenya, and she got a green card and went to America, and then things got tough, and life got really tough for her, and then at some point she got that opportunity to be a cleaner, and she told me, hey, if I have a chance to go back to Kenya, I'll just run. And at that time I thought, what?
Yeah.
You're saying that? You know how many people in Kenya want to run away from Kenya? But at that time also, the things I had in my mind, I'm this person who has ideas that torment me, completely torment me. I don't like ideas tormenting me. I like implementing them immediately, so that I see if they are good ideas, if they can work, if they have impact, or look for other ideas. So those ideas that I wanted to implement were tormenting me, and I had to come back. And I knew there was going to be more opportunities.
Yeah.
And I was right.
Thank you so much for joining. If you're joining us for the first time, and those who are returning, we are really grateful for keeping up with us. Thank you for your comments, your encouragements. I mean, they mean a lot. Now, the Wikru podcast is the first and only podcast in Kenya that brings to you the world of filmmakers to your ears. It not only does that, it dives deep into the dynamic, ever-evolving world of the film industry. The Wikru podcast is not only a podcast, it is a movement that brings together the doers, the creatives, the thinkers, and storytellers. So today we have a great guest. He is a film executive, as he calls himself. He's also done a lot in the film industry. He is an academia, those people who really do most in studying film. And he's gonna take us through his journey. So before I introduce him, I would like you to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for this episode. And yeah, let's get into it. Karibu sana. His name is Peter Pages. Peter Pages, karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Yes.
I almost heard you saying I'm an amazing guest. Oh, wow.
You're an amazing guest.
Am I?
You are.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Asante.
And unajua, the first time you told me you're called Peter Pages, or rather I was told you're called Peter Pages, I wondered, where did these pages come from?
Everyone asks that.
Yeah. Tell us.
My full name is Peter Pages Bwire Odhiambo Ojiambo. I'm a fisherman by birth.
Ish.
So yeah, so I don't know if we have enough time to go into details of every name, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Names, yeah.
But Pages is yours.
Yeah.
I like how Luos get to have two English names.
I'm not Luo.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not.
Yeah, nice. So as we dive deep, I would love to understand how your journey has been, especially where did you grow up, and how did that shape you to be a great film executive, as you call yourself?
I grew up in Kitale. I am not a great film executive yet. I said I was born a fisherman, and my dad and my mother, they both come from fishing communities, and I grew up thinking, yeah, this is a family where fish is the thing. And the one thing that they did very well when I was growing up is provide a lot of books for me to read, stories from all over the world. I don't know where they got those books. And I also have older siblings, lots of them, who, of course, studied set books in high school. So they came home with lots of storybooks and novels, and I could read them when I was very young, newspapers. And I loved football, playing around with my friends outside in the stadium in Kitale. And just noticing the different kinds of people and communities and cultures around me was something encouraging. And because I read lots of stories and loved lots of stories and photos of football players and everything, I combined that love for reading stories, a love for writing stories, and a love for photography to get into theater. And I went to high school. First, I wanted to go to a high school that I could play football. My dad did not want that, so I went to one that had theater. So did a lot of drama, and after that, I went to Kenyatta University to study film and theater. And from there, the interest grew. I found out pretty fast that theater demanded a lot of my attention and my time, and I was moving around a lot. So I decided to focus on something that could allow me to move around and work remotely, which theater was not. And that's how I ended up working mostly in the film industry. And in the film industry, I don't like production at all. I don't like holding cameras, lights, and being on set. It's not my thing. So that's how I focused on the business side, which is why I'm a film executive. An executive is just someone who is not really focusing on production. They're focused on the business, in the development, in the sales, in the distribution, exhibition, marketing, and all those things. So I am in the film business. And as I said, I'm not great yet. I'm trying to learn from other people, from other industries, from my friends, my peers, younger, older, and all that. Yeah.
But most of us see your grades. Let me tell you.
Thank you.
Yeah, especially, why I'm saying that? Because there are many people I've met and they talk about Peter Pages. Okay? So that's where the idea, I mean, any great person is known for a lot.
I'm happy to hear that people are saying nice things about me.
All right. So you've gone so fast. Let's pull up.
Yeah.
Let's just go back.
Yeah. Sure.
Now, you said you went to a high school that you wanted it to focused on theater. So many young people don't really understand what they want to do in that particular time.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering, is it because you had great guidance from the family, from the friends, so that you understood really what you wanted to do?
No, I did not understand what I wanted to do. It was, perhaps I didn't say it the right way. I wanted to go to a high school that had football because I loved football. Every African young man thinks they are good footballers, and I was one of those people. I wanted to go and play football. And my dad saw this guy cannot focus when football is around. So he didn't want me to go to that school. So I went to another school. I didn't know what to expect in that school. So when I got there, the very first day I get into that school, some guys take me and tell me, let's go to our drama rehearsals. And then when I went there, I immediately loved it. So that's where it began.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this drama and theater, is it something that anyone can do, or is it a talent in within that you have to showcase to be there? Because look at it, you were just called, you got there, you became best in it.
No, I think apart from the things that determine life and death, like being a doctor or being a lawyer, everything else can be done by anyone who wants to apply themselves with the right energy and with the right motivation. I don't think I can say that the theater industry is for specific talented people. It's too big for. It's not just acting, because some people think theater is just acting. There's stage management. There's carpentry. You can create a stage with your hands. You can paint. You can organize the team, production management, and all that. There are so many roles in the industry that we cannot just say you need acting talent to get in there. So I can say absolutely anyone can make it in that industry. So yeah.
So you're done with high school, now you go to Kenyatta University, right?
Yeah.
Tell us, how did you get to choose? Did you choose theater in Kenyatta University?
Yes, I did.
And how did you just get? Do you go directly there and chose theater? How was the journey transitioning?
From high school, I don't know if they still do it. During our years, we used to go to select courses and universities. when we were in high school. I came out of high school around 15 years ago. Yeah, so the idea is that during the fourth year in high school, you select universities, and then after the exams, you go and select again, just to confirm, especially if you have qualified for university. So we went to Nakuru to select, and I had a look at those programs that were being offered, and I had in mind some journalism courses that I wanted to do, and then I looked at them. Some of them I was not really qualified to go to for some reason. I can't remember which ones. And some of them were in places I did not want to go to, like universities that I had no interest going to. And I also wanted to study in Nairobi. So I looked at the options that I wanted in Nairobi, and then I found KU was a really nice option, and it had a theater and film. I was not sure what to expect. My friends were telling me, you can learn these things just on the street, like you can just act, you can shoot. You don't need to go to university to study that. And I said, okay, I want to go to university to study this. So I went to the university and deliberately, intentionally went to the Theatre Arts and Film Technology department at KU and started studying. Yeah, 4 years later, I graduated, top of my class.
Yeah, I like that angle because your name is also quite known in Kenyatta University. People have interacted with you, and they know that you were a graphic designer. You used to design these graphics for events.
Yeah. I didn't know people know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, you used to do those graphic design. You used to be, of course, also in the department, and you have been academia. Let's in a very knowledgeable person in the industry. Now, tell us, is that something that is a passion, or still do you do graphic designing till today?
I do graphic design, but not professionally. I do it for my organizations. I do it when I want to communicate something myself. I don't charge people to do work for them. If my friend asks me to do something for them, I do it for free. So it's something that I learned at a very early on. I think immediately I left high school, I was organizing concerts in Kitale, and I was doing graphic design there. When I was in KU, it used to feed me, get me some ugali supu at the mess. Yeah. Yeah, that was it was a nice hustle in the university. I used to stay at the department quite a long time because I could not go home for long holidays sometimes. Especially the short ones, the short holidays, the ones that last a month or less. I could not go to Kitale for holidays within such a short time. So I used to stay around the department and do things for people, connect with the professors, and study when I could. So loved technology also from a very early age, and I could sit with my laptop for hours researching, learning things, spend the first week of the semester studying everything so that the rest of the semester I can play around and
and lie that you didn't study.
Lie that I didn't study. When the exams come, I'm ready. So I still do graphic design.
That's great. So after KU, we see you've done so much. You even went to study at the diaspora. Tell us, how did you get that opportunity? And even there are people out here who would really love to know those opportunities.
Okay. I was in third year when I was always top of my class in KU. So the university, I'm not bragging by the way. I want to give you context. True, yes. I want to give you context. I was top of my class always. And then the university had a partnership with some companies around Nairobi to do internships for people who were on top of their classes. So they came to our department and selected me, and they asked me, which company do you want to go to? And they gave me a list. So from that, I selected a company, which was a technology company. There was no film or media company there. So I went there, and it was a healthcare technology company. So I got into the marketing department because that was the place that they saw I could fit. So when I did that, it introduced me to the world of marketing and events and things like that. So part of the progress that I started having after that was based on that opportunity to do that internship. So I was doing marketing. I started organizing events, film events inside KU, outside KU. I did a film festival at the Pan Africa Christian University. It was a Christian film festival in 2016. And from that, I also got an opportunity to do theater with some Italian directors who had come to Kenya. So I did some stage plays with them. I don't do theater any longer, as I said earlier.
Yeah.
And then from that, I got an opportunity to do the Mandela Washington Fellowship, which was a program that had just been started by Barack Obama when he came to Kenya. So I went to the US to do the Mandela Washington Fellowship. And that one took me up to the end of 2017. Yeah. What was the question?
Yeah, the journey there. And actually, as you're talking about that, most young people, they would love to go there and remain there. You went and you came back.
A lot of people want to remain there. I think I had those thoughts a number of times as well, because it's always easy to think about what you've left back home, and you think, what am I going back to? Yeah. There was one day we went to Washington, D.C., and it was one of those big hotels, because the U.S. Department of State booked us some hotels, and the person who was cleaning my room was from Kenya, and she got a green card and went to America, and then things got tough, and life got really tough for her. And then at some point she got that opportunity to be a cleaner, and she told me, hey, if I have a chance to go back to Kenya, I'll just run. And at that time I thought, what?
Yeah.
You're saying that? You know how many people in Kenya want to run away from Kenya? But at that time also, the things I had in my mind, I'm this person who has ideas that torment me, completely torment me. I don't like ideas tormenting me. I like implementing them immediately, so that I see if they are good ideas, if they can work, if they have impact, or look for other ideas. So those ideas that I wanted to implement were tormenting me, and I had to come back. And I knew there was going to be more opportunities.
Yeah.
And I was right.
Tell us, which are these ideas?
Ideas to do film festivals, to make a difference using film and media arts and things like that. So I always have that in my mind. I wanted to do things in Kitale, which I'm doing now, and a lot of other projects involving other people that I cannot go into detail because there are too many. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, you have spoken about Kitale. So many filmmakers feel like Nairobi is the core area to do your films and succeed in, whatever, any related thing to do with film. They feel like Nairobi is the place. Why Kitale?
Nairobi is not the place. Yeah, I disagree. I lived in London. People used to come to London and say, yeah, London is the place. I was in New York. People used to say New York is the place. And all those guys from all those other places. I was in Paris. Everyone says Paris. So it's not the place. Like it works. Things work where you are. Like a tree grows where it's planted. So what I can say is that some industries have some concentration in specific places, and depending on what you're looking for, depending on what you want to do. But for filmmaking, stories are everywhere.
What's wrong with filmmakers then?
Yeah, stories are everywhere. You can make stories anywhere. So that's one of the things I wanted to show, to prove that stories are not in Nairobi. What is in Nairobi is a diverse way of experiencing life. You can get out of the house and find a place to eat good food, go somewhere, enjoy time with friends from all over other countries, go to a game or something. In these smaller towns, the life is a bit more narrow. You don't have to experience a lot more, but the reason that people run to big cities is that there's a lot more things to do with your life and enjoy, and more chances to expand your mind. So if we bring that quality of life in smaller towns, and the opportunity of networking, and having those good foods and places to visit, and things to do, if the town is not boring, then that's the place to be.
Yes.
You can make films there, you can do anything there. So yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah. Peter, what's the talent pool, for example, within your work in Kitale compared to Nairobi?
What's the talent pool?
Yes. How how strong is the talent in Kitale in your personal view compared to other areas?
I'm not so good at judging talent because I don't consider myself talented enough to rate others. But I do know that people who have different ranges of talent exist in Kitale. The ones that have ambition is different because for someone to do something with that talent, they need to have some kind of ambition, and the levels of ambition determine if that person stays there or moves. Because once someone notices that this place is not good enough for my ambitions, what I want to do tomorrow, what I want to do next week, they find a place where they can do that. And in Kitale, I think there's a lot of people with talent. So for the film industry, for example, when someone wants to make a film, it is easy to get people who are talented in acting and have a degree of technique in the technical work like lighting and sound. But the guys who are really good and ambitious in the technical aspects of production, like camera work, production, they are not in Kitale. They don't feel like there's enough work for them to stay there, so they move to other places where there's a more consistent pipeline of work for them. And the actors, they are not really acting; they are doing other things. They are pastors, they are farmers, they are teachers. So you'll have to go find it out of them. So the professional actors as well, you'll not really find them there. They will go to places where they feel like there's more work. And I think that is something that happens to everyone across the world. In New York, they go to Broadway. They want to go somewhere they can get work. They will not stay here if there's no one organizing something for me to work in or to act in. So yeah, if I don't have a talent to organize something and there's no one organizing it, I'll go find a place where people are organizing it. That's why I'm trying to help people to organize their own events. They form their own companies so that they can employ people.
Yes.
Because if no one does that, then the ones who do not have that talent to start things, they are not going to stay there.
Yeah. How do you help them?
Mostly networking, workshops, events, programs that involve other people that do not know them coming in, because I believe that that kind of leadership requires a mix of creativity and cohesion. Creativity meaning that you need people who can challenge your ideas every day and make you see new ways of doing things. So that's why I would bring new people, connect with them. Cohesion meaning that you need people who believe in you, who know your working style, who can work with you all the time. Like for me, if I start something, I would start by looking for my friends who can listen to me, because maybe I cannot pay them. So that cohesion in terms of how do I find people that align with me, align with my vision and my energy and my ideas. They don't think I'm stupid. They can listen to me. So that kind of cohesion is really important. So I try to help people see that and see how they can cultivate a team around them that can have a mix of those two things, creativity and cohesion, so that they can be able to start things on their own.
Yeah. So as people are watching, there are so many people who would love to understand, at this young age, and you have already achieved quite much by setting up Kitale Film Festival.
Yeah.
Tell us, what were the tricks that you used that really were top up to enhance that?
I don't know. When I was a teenager, I was organizing concerts, and at some point I wanted to pay school fees for myself, and I organized a concert to raise that money. I had no option. I had to do that because that's the one thing I knew. So when I was in university, organized some theater plays and everything, did the hip hop film festival. After the first festival that I did before I went to New York, I came back with a partnership with the hip hop film festival, which is a black culture film festival in Harlem, New York, and we did that in Kenya. It went to Abidjan, and then it went to Gaborone, Botswana, but the COVID pandemic kind of stopped it. So from that experience, when I was thinking about being a film executive and what next in terms of distributing films, then the first thing that comes to my mind is to do a film festival that will kind of bring together filmmakers in Kenya and Uganda. Kitale is very close to Uganda, and when I was a young boy, there was a lot of Ugandan people in Kitale. Right now, there's not there are not that many, but yeah, that was the process in terms of narrowing down to what I'm going to do and why I'm going to do it in Kitale. I grew up there. I love the place. It's cosmopolitan. There's so many stories, so much talent, and a lot of people in Nairobi who work in the creative industries. They are from Western Kenya, Kitale, Bungoma, Kakamega, all those areas. And yeah, I wanted to see how I could start building an ecosystem of filmmakers in Western Kenya, of course in collaboration with people who are doing it already. And the first thing I did was to call people that I knew understand the industry. I was fresh from my postgraduate degree. I wanted to see if I could talk to people in the industry. I called people from the Africa in Motion Film Festival, which is in Glasgow and Edinburgh. I called Madam Lara Preston, who's in South Africa doing film journalism. Called guys from the French embassy who knew much about film. Called filmmakers. Called people from DocuBox.
That's a bunch of a good relationship.
Yeah. I was just asking for guidance before I started. So yeah, I had also gone for a fellowship in France, which was young African leaders, French African leaders. Yeah. And from that, I had also developed a network with other creative professionals across the continent and in France. So at that period, I was just building the structure, the idea, and that's how it started. Started by doing a 8-day event, 1-week event. We were ready to do it badly, but with ambition, of course. Do it, even if you do it badly, make sure that you are not doing badly deliberately. So yeah, that's how we started, and we've been doing it for 3 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With all those relationships, with what you brought up, I mean, the film industry in Kenya is still struggling. People are saying that.
Yeah.
And we look at it in an angle where most of the people in Kenya, they are still watching Nigerian films. Look at it. Our TV stations, they still are airing them for free, unless they are paid.
Yeah.
Yes. Tell us why.
It's not a bad thing to watch Nigerian films. It's an amazing thing. The film industry, for a film industry to grow, a lot of different things need to happen at the same time. It's not a linear journey. It's not you make a film and then this and then that and then that. It's not that. Things need to be happening at the same time. You need people to be making films, other people to be creating cinemas, other people to be developing as marketers and critics and journalists, other people to be distributors, taking this film to the next step, other people to be developing new films, so that as soon as this film finishes the cycle, we can now start another film. So this industry needs to grow a lot of things at the same time: exhibition, distribution, production, development, marketing, sales, all those things, financing, all those things. So the reason that our industry grows slowly is that we have surges of productions. Lots of them come up. We love them, but then the pipeline, the circuit of how that film is distributed from one level to the next, from one window to another, becomes really difficult because we don't have the infrastructure to exploit that film. In terms of exploitation, TV is not a source of revenue, a major source of revenue for a film. TV is for TV content. So for a film to be exploited well, it needs to go through other stages of exploitation before it gets to TV. So we cannot depend on TV to make money. We can also not depend on YouTube to make money. We need avenues of exploitation or distribution or exhibition that allow a lot of people domestically, which means within Kenya, to see those films before they start going out to other places like streaming and whatnot. Which is why it is impressive what Philip Productions and Abel Mutua and the other guys are doing, because they can be able to exploit that film at the very beginning by bringing people together in a space to watch films at a premium fee. So from that level, now they can do other things with that film, including giving it to TV or putting it on YouTube and all those other places. So for the industry to grow, we need a lot of people to do things together.
But why isn't TV one of the, because TV is one of the mainstream, like look at it, the village, ukisema tukiongelea Kitale, tuongele Homa Bay, most of the people there, the only thing, most things they can access is also on the TV.
Yeah.
So we cannot sideline it, I believe.
Yeah.
But again, we can't say we will start with physical. Yes.
Yeah.
People coming
physically.
Yeah. But I would really love to understand why doesn't it even get to be well consumed by people, because you look at, you're saying they should all go together, and you've put your film festival to be only in February, right? It's once yearly. Then that becomes very limited. In 1 year, how many films have come up?
That's
in
true.
1 year, how many people are doing so much? So you tell us, what are these things that you need to do right? Yes.
First of all, I do it every year because we cannot do more than that. Our capacity does not allow us to do more than that. So we are counting on other people to start their own festivals. We can support, be part of those. There's a lot of other festivals going on in Kenya. There's the big ones, Kalasha, Nairobi Film Festival, and a number of other film festivals. Unfortunately, some of them die away because of lack of financing and inconsistency of some sort. But if we have a good number of festivals going on, we can cover that side of the market. But the same person cannot do 3 festivals in a year. It's not possible. In terms of TV not being the main, it is not exactly about how people access films, because if we say that, then we can easily be sending Safaricom a film to give it for free to everyone, but the filmmakers will not get anything. So in terms of that, it is because of the cost structure of TV, how they pay, how they make money, how they make revenue, and how long they are willing to show a film for. How long are they willing to show a film for? Is it a 2-hour film? Do you think a TV channel can show 5 films which are 2 hours each in a day or so? It's quite difficult for a TV to move, TV channel to move around, to work around the structure of the film industry. And because also the film industry works around specific timelines, how films are released, how films are watched, which films are released, and how audiences access those films, it becomes difficult to merge that with the structure of the TV industry. So it is sometimes not very easy to align that, and that's why TV comes maybe 3 or 4 steps after the first main release of the film.
Okay.
Okay. I need to drink water.
You need to drink water. Okay, so fine. So now let's talk about your partnerships. You have partnered with the Kenya Films Commission, right? Apart from that, with other partnerships, how is the government really tangibly incorporated in your work, and does it show as well?
It's a two-way relationship. Government does not have any obligation to be in my festival or anything. They have their priorities, and I also have mine. And it is a fair relationship because even Hollywood was not started by government. The companies, all the big companies, Universal, Warner Brothers, 20th Century Fox, Paramount, all those, they were not started by the government. They were started by private institutions. So whatever we are doing is to try to bring them in because we need them sometimes for funding, mostly for funding. And sometimes we also need to involve the people using their name, that the government is involved. Sometimes we do not. Sometimes it's a disaster to say that the government is part of this.
Why?
So yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I don't want to mention names. Yeah, so yeah, the government is just the government. They have a list of things that they want to achieve within their financial year, and if we want to involve them in one way or another, we have to invite them and give them a specific role of what they will do, and the rest we do it ourselves. If we want them to take over our festival, we can also tell them, please take over our festival. So for the Kitale Film Week, we work really closely with the Kenya Film Commission, which is a government institution. They have helped us with training filmmakers because they are able to train filmmakers. So they have come down to Kitale and trained more than 50 filmmakers. They have also organized stakeholder gatherings where they bring together film people in the industry, have discussions on how they can grow the industry and live. They have also provided us with some kind of sponsorship by bringing us screens to show films, trophies to give to filmmakers who have won awards, and things like that. So that is the level of partnership that we've been able to achieve with the national government. For the county government, they have given us venues. We have worked with them to develop plans to train filmmakers to, they call it capacity building.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
the
term they use in development, capacity building. For me, it's just training. So yeah, they've done that. They've helped us to get some licenses at lower fees or at no cost. So those are some of the things that they do. But of course, we can still do more because governments have a wider range of influence than us. Yeah.
So most young people would love to know, how are they gonna gain from Peter Pages? For
From-
example,
Yeah.
how do we get to have opportunities?
Mhm.
How do we get to be involved in
Mhm.
your journey? You
Okay.
know? Yes.
Getting involved in my journey just needs meeting me and talking to me and seeing how my story aligns with what you want to do. Because the parable of the sower, the one who broadcasts, some fall on rocky soil, some fall among thorns, and all those things. For me, I would like to be very intentional in how I share information. So there are things I can broadcast, I can say this and write blogs, and there are others that I will meet someone and then have a discussion with them.
Yeah, so before we wind up, I would love to know, what are filmmakers doing it right? What are they doing wrong? So that from here, probably a new story can be written.
I don't think filmmakers are doing anything wrong. For someone to be a filmmaker, they are already doing something right. They are telling stories. They are taking the initiative to find a story and tell it. So from that point onwards, it's just about telling another story or doing more. And the industry is the one that is not doing enough. They're us, the executives, getting infrastructure and processes and platforms and events for those filmmakers to put their films out there and exploit them accordingly. So that is where we need to begin to make sure that there are platforms and there's a way for those filmmakers to gain.
Yeah. And what's different when you are abroad and here? What's the different thing they are doing that you might advise to be applied?
The major one is that their fathers and their grandfathers built an industry for them. For us, they did not. They did not get that opportunity. They were being killed in the fields by colonizers. So we are the grandfathers. We are the ones to build an industry for the guys who will come some years after us. That's why it is very important for us to sacrifice some of our ambitions of going to live in Australia and Japan and stay in Kenya and build those industries. Because if we do not, then our grandchildren will be the grandfathers trying to start something afresh. So that's the big difference. The rest of them are results of what was built long time ago, financial systems, distribution systems, and all that. So yeah, let's assume colonization did not happen and start afresh and say, let's build something for ourselves and for the future generations.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, before we finish, I'm checking my phone because I have quickfire questions, and
Okay.
I want you to answer with one answer,
Okay.
and I would love them to be direct. I would
Okay.
like straight answers, okay?
I suspect you're going to ask me some very uncomfortable ones, but yeah, I'll
Like
answer.
which one? Like which one? No. And then there's no pass, okay? So
Okay.
let's go for it. 1. Which film in your judgment of Kenyan films do you think was best produced?
Nairobi Half-Life.
Who is your choice for the best actor so far in African films, male and female?
I don't know their names really. There's one who acted Tsotsi. That's the male one. For female, I would go with. Let me find a Kenyan one.
I'm patient.
No. Let me go with the one who acted in Goodbye Julia. I don't know her name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Best TV series to ever exist on our televisions.
Best TV to ever exist.
TV series, yes.
That's a bold thing to ask. I don't know. Sugar was nice.
Okay, I like that you're revolving around.
Oh, you're asking about international?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Best African country supporting the film industry?
Senegal.
Wow. Best film podcast in Africa?
Best film podcast in Africa. I don't know.
Micro podcast, I'll answer that for you. Who do you recommend for the set after you?
After me, a Kenyan one. Why not Abel Mutua? Have you done it already?
Okay, you said it.
Okay.
So yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. You've been a great company. I've learned from you. You have been spilling knowledge.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Before we close, probably you can tell our viewers where they can find you, because you've told us we have to find you to get opportunities. So yeah.
Peter Pages Bwire. If you type that on Google search, it will open my LinkedIn page, Twitter page, Instagram page. I check all of them every hour. I'm checking.
Nice.
Yeah.
What does it take for someone to be in Wikipedia?
I'm not on Wikipedia, so I don't know, but you can get a page and let people look at it and see if it is neutral, and let it go live.
That's an AOB. I really looked for you on Wikipedia so you can find information like if you are a graphic designer or not. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This discussion has been amazing. You learn a lot. Thank you so much, and I would like you to like, subscribe, and follow us. I have been your host, Noela Toyoa, and have a good time. Thank you.